Locally, though, for in the Marine Corps League, what do we have planned coming up for our veterans?
Well, one thing that we have locally is our Marines Helping Marines program. And Tony Begenwald is the Vice President Foundation, or East Coast Vice President, and also the Chairman of the Department of Maryland Marines Helping Marines program. We just did a recent newsletter, and of course Tony puts a article in it every time. Right now, between Walter Reed and Bethesda, we have 109 wounded sailors, Marines, and airmen,
soldiers,
and soldiers.
Yep.
And
yeah, even though it's called Marines Helping Marines, we obviously give the same assistance to any members of the service.
Right.
And it's kind of an accidental program. Just started with one phone call. Somebody in Florida was concerned about a young Marine at Bethesda, and it just grew. And but their need for money is quite. In fact, we passed the hat on the floor and got a couple of $1,000s. And Tony sells things at the thing, and he sold a couple of $1,000.
Yeah. Mike Bloom, who is now our National Executive Director, was the state commandant at the time. And since Bethesda's in Maryland, National called Maryland and said, Mike, can you look into this? And Mike's full-time job was with the Heck Company, who is now Macy's. And he found the need, and of course this is when Iraq was just really starting to get rolling back in like 2001, 2002 time frame. And Heck Company started giving a lot of bags and such like that to the program. And then it became, we were drawing the money, then it was made a national program, and now we have a national foundation, and Jerry's one of the members of the board of the National Foundation. But we do need donations, and all the donations go into the program. And if you would look, they did a thing in the paper where this program did so much. 98% of the money donated goes to the wounded.
The only money that doesn't is they're required by law to have an annual audit. That is the only expense that the Marines Helping Marines have. Ron Short, his national director, used to fly to California to raise money and paid his own airfare.
And his own, same with Tony.
Tony
goes
went
everywhere. To the national convention, and he sells T-shirts, to raise money, and I think he did about $2,000 worth this year. He paid his own way down and his own way back. Like I say, the 2% is the very bare administrative fees.
A few stamps and the audit.
Right, and that. So that's
Tony
nice
goes
thing.
to convention and does nothing but work for Marines Helping Marines. I mean, he doesn't even go to the sessions. He stays outside and raises money for the wounded Marines.
And we have Bob Flick and Tony. One goes every Monday, one goes every Wednesday to Bethesda, and they've been doing this for the last 7 or 8 years.
Is Bethesda the only place that the help is?
No, Walter Reed also, but
Walter Reed.
But since most of the Marines are at Bethesda, that's where we go. Mm-hmm. There are some other that do go to Bethesda, to go to Walter Reed, and sometimes they do go over there. Like Walter Reed does all the prosthetics, but they're having a big transition where they are shutting Walter Reed down. Mm-hmm. So within a very short period of time, everything will be at Bethesda.
Right. Okay. So the whole program is focused on
wounded.
The wounded,
it's a Marines Helping Marines program, but it's everybody.
The distinction is the foundation does all kinds of things, like particularly Marines who are down in their luck, who've gotten sick or something, and the foundation we vote by email. If someone has a kid, usually it's referred from the local detachment of the Marine Corps League, then it's checked out by National, and they ask us for a vote. It's not big, and we don't have that kind of money, but it's $500 here. It's rent or it's something, 500 or 1,000. So we help people who need, Marines who need help.
And you're having a golf tournament.
Yes, the DAB's having a golf tournament. It's our Forget-Me-Not golf tournament. And there again, all of the money that is raised, 100% of the money goes to our service programs. We made several donations to the Marines Helping Marines. We made donations to our Bowie Food Pantry, and needy veterans or families in the area. Of course, since Fort Meade is the closest, we haven't been to Annapolis because there's a big DAB chapter in Annapolis. But Fort Meade, with the amount of people, we always do Christmas and Thanksgiving baskets. And if we find out that there's a needy Marine in the area, or a needy veteran in the area, we help them. And
At the national convention, I brought the check from here in Chapter 7, which is up on 197. I brought a check, donated a check to the National Foundation for $2,500. Also, I might point out, too, an item of spectacular generosity. For many years, Harley Davidson, the motorcycle people, have been donating to the DAV National Foundation. Their contribution's $1 million a year. The woman who heads up the charitable side of said they're very, very satisfied with the DAV, and their board of directors has decided to double the money, and they're going to give $2 million next year. So,
and Ford Motor Company has been very generous to the DAV and with their help on the vans that we have throughout the area.
Yeah, Ford is really the DAV's automobile company. They're
right.
It's, you know, and we're lucky we have such good relations. It's, we named as Marine of the Year, who's been a very, very generous benefactor. Tom Lynch, who owns Academy Ford in Laurel, is a Marine. He was the Marine of the Year from our detachment, and he's always willing to help. He's,
right.
In
fact, at our golf tournament, that they are putting up the 2011 Ford Taurus. If you get a hole-in-one on number 13, you win a Ford Taurus.
Yeah.
From Academy Ford.
Yeah,
and as I say, Tony, since this is all tied in, Tony's the golf chairman, and you can reach him if you want. We need golfers, we need boosters, and like I said, all the money goes to the Forget Me Not program. And for the last 15 years, Bowie Chapter 7 has been #1 at the department for raising money for this program. And the golf tournament is on Monday, September the 20th, right here at the Bowie Golf Course. And it's a shotgun start. We have applications at the DAV Hall at Bowie over here, 8205 Laurel Bowie Road. Or you can call me. My number is under the Marine Corps League, or Tony also, and you can just reach us through Veterans Forum here at City Hall. We will get you an application.
And
last year, a man hit the tee.
Oh, yes.
Close as we can.
And Bel Air Engineering, last year, because of the automobile, we didn't have an auto for the last couple of years. Bel Air Engineering has been putting up a home generator, a $10,000 home generator. And they almost gave one away last year. So, in the this will be our 22nd year. We've never had a hole-in-one.
Debbie Risher owns, it's female-owned, Bel Air Engineering,
right.
And she's been a great supporter of veterans causes.
And of course, she has always has her ad here on Bowie Cable also.
Mm-hmm. You have a couple other things coming up too. Crab Feast for the DAV?
Yeah, we have the DAV Crab Feast on August the 27th. It's a Friday evening from 6 to 9. But this is for the chapter home.
Right.
You know, this is for chapter home. And the chapter home also gives, you know, we support the chapter. And if every now and then we'll have a needy veteran and we check it out that will need some money to help him get home or something. And we do have a limit, but we will help a needy veteran, and that's where this funds come from.
And also, I started to see mail now for Toys for Tots.
Yes, right. We're one of the pickup points for Toys for Tots. That normally starts around the 1st of November and runs until the around the second Friday in December. And American Legion and the DAV are both pickup points, but all 4 veterans organizations participate in the program.
And the Joint Veterans Commission is going to be starting up in September, I guess.
Yes,
too.
the 3rd Wednesday in September, and we'll be meeting in Bowie. And of course, that's for the 6 major veterans organizations. And our main item is legislation. And Jerry, I must say, and yourself, spent a lot of time down in Annapolis for veterans bills this last year. And we look for maybe have a little more success this year.
Well, it seems like we have more people showing up each year
Right.
down in Annapolis. Jerry, are there some particular bills we're going to be looking at?
Pretty much the same ones that didn't pass last year.
Right.
They used to have those bills, and sometimes when I was chairing the Ways and Means, say, go out and arrest the usual suspects. So the usual suspects will be down with the slot machine bill. To get slot machines in the veterans post is probably still our top priority, along with the bill to have tax exemption, subtraction modification for retired military. You know, these are probably our 2 top top priorities.
I went online to the official Maryland site, and there was about 20 bills related to veterans in both houses.
Yeah.
And only a few of them passed, you know, extension of sales tax exemption and a few other ones. But yeah, there is quite a bit of work.
It was a fairly good year for flag waving, but money bills had problems.
One thing I'd like to say is I want to thank Senator Peters for help getting the nonprofit modification, getting a amendment, because when they first passed it was a 501c19, which was American Legion and VFW. Well, the DAV, the Marine Corps League, the Purple Heart, a few other ones were 501c4s. And the way the law was written, we couldn't get that. But it was passed last year because of Senator Peters and the group. And
he got a procurement bill in for disabled veterans, and it's
right.
He really has been a champion of
champion. And what he did was on 1 July, of course, I put the paperwork in, and they said, well, we can't do anything until it actually takes effect on 1 July. I thought once the governor signed it, but and then we got that we have our number now, so we have our nonprofit sales tax exempt,
Right.
and the system works.
It does.
That was through the controller's office.
And we can talk a little bit about the Prince George's County Commission for Veterans.
Yes.
We're going to be starting up again, as we always do, which is the first Monday of the month. We meet at 6 o'clock.
But this month we're meeting August 30th for Labor Day.
Yes, and then we'll be starting in October, regular
5th,
sessions.
I think it is.
So if you're interested in doing that, you know, feel free to come down to the Family Services Center on
Harriet Hunter Building in Camp Springs. It's right off of the Beltway, about 3 blocks. And as I say, we have
Bowie presence on it.
yes.
we have very good moderators, and we'll be starting to get a lot of legislators to come through because this is an election year.
Certainly is.
Right.
Which is also very important. We want veterans to get out and vote,
Right.
As we do all of our citizens. The primary elections are coming up in a few weeks, and now you can vote
Early.
Right.
September 14th is
Yeah.
the primary day. Yeah.
So you can actually start voting as early as September the 3rd.
Right.
But you can only vote once, not like Boston.
Yeah.
Boston
And that's
of my
at the Boone
childhood.
Library.
Boston of my childhood, the slogan was vote often and early for James Michael Curley, but 1 vote per person now.
Well,
Time has flown by, hasn't
it
it?
is. It's hard to believe, but we're through another 30 minutes again, and it's easy for us to talk. So once again, thanks a lot for watching Veterans Forum. We hope you enjoyed the program and learned some important information that's useful to you and your family. Now we ask you to get involved with other Bowie veterans by actively participating in one of our veterans organizations. Come over to the DAV or the American Legion. Stop in, say hello, and get active. We need your support, and I think we'll provide a lot of help for you and your family. Thanks again for watching Veterans Forum. And tonight I want a special thanks to Tom Allen as our director, cameraman, and altogether helper here at
Chief Cook
at
and
the-
bottle washer.
That's right. And thanks for watching.
Register for the golf tournament.
Yeah.